Hello and a very warm welcome to this special. Sandeep Mishra here is joining me. Amit Kamath will be here as well as we look at Neeraj Chopra, who will be back in action tonight as he participates in the Diamond League in Lausanne. And this is after he suffered a minor groin injury during the World Championships where he won a historic silver. But thankfully, it wasn't a big injury and he put it out on his social media that he is fit and raring to go and will be participating in the Diamond League in Lausanne. Now, the important bit is that he's said after winning the World Championship silver that the one big goal he has for this year is for him to win the Diamond League final. Is that something that he's looking to do, Amit? Important one for him. He's placed fourth here and the top three are not participating. How do you see this turning out with the field that he has for Neeraj Chopra?
Yeah, the biggest competition for Neeraj today is going to be Jakub Wadlek, who shared the podium with Neeraj at Tokyo. Besides that, there's only Keshton Walcott, who's been a constant feature of the men's javelin throw field for the last many years now. So these two guys are the only real competition. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the other guys, but I'm just saying that these two guys are the only ones who will be pushing Neeraj today for a top spot finish. So for him, I think it should be easy, but for him, it's also a competition where he figures how well he has recuperated from that groin injury you spoke about.
That's right. And it's an important one when athletes are coming back from an injury, Sandeep, and it could be a minor one or a big one. It's always difficult. There are going to be some nerves. He is obviously also trying to breach that 90-meter mark that everybody keeps talking about. How do you think he'll be approaching this competition?
I think it's more of that 90-meter mark pressure that's coming on. And you also have to agree that in a way he is our Olympic champion. He is a world champion who got a silver, in that sense. There is a different kind of pressure on Neeraj. He has to be on top. There has to be this constant media thing that has to be around him. Because going into next season and all of that, I think the entire entourage around him now wants to protect him in whatever manner they can. But I do believe that 5%, 10% or whatever that injury was, in a way, it's good he didn't go to Commonwealth. He didn't buckle under that pressure that comes, that you have to go there, get a medal for the country, all of that. He's already a Commonwealth champion since the last edition.
Correct.
And now I think it's all about how he can tackle this pressure that suddenly has come from the other side of the border, which is somebody else doing a 90M before he did.
Yeah.
That's one part of it. The other part is this whole business pressure, this whole sponsorship pressure, that's also now coming to bear on Neeraj Chopra, this athlete who's the Olympic champion. We are now looking at it for the first time. We have somebody who's facing this kind of pressure for the first time because in any other sport, we haven't had an Olympic champion in whatever way. So I think looking at all of those aspects, him coming good here, getting a 90 will be a massive relief in a way. Otherwise, he has to keep looking at competitions and keep answering this question, when is the 90 coming, when is the 90 coming? I just hope it comes tonight.
I hope so too. Now, we had a chance after he won the World Championship silver of talking to Neeraj Chopra, and one of the questions that was put across to him, Amit, in that interview was about this 90-meter sort of hanging above him. And the thing is, he's come so close. I mean, 89.94, is it? 89.94. And you just have to cross that 90 mark. I mean, for an athlete, that could be a problem. I mean, like Sandeep said, psychologically, how big a problem is that? The fact that his good friend from across the border, Arshad Nadeem, got it in the Commonwealth Games. And I know that he was really upset about, or rather I would say sad about not being able to participate in the Commonwealth Games, because that's a different feeling. You're going with the whole contingent, as Indians together going for the friendly games where you were, and you got us all the coverage from there. But I wonder that, this 90-meter, too close yet too far, that kind of a thing happening with him right now?
Yeah, first things I think I just want to explain for the benefit of the readers how close is Neeraj Chopra to 90 meters.
Yeah.
You see my finger here,
Yeah.
my index finger.
Yes.
That is literally the distance between Neeraj and 90 meters right now.
Yeah.
It's that much. It's the distance between my eyebrow. Uh, so Neeraj is that far away from entering a club which has a membership of I think 23 men as of now. Uh, and I have to mention that every press conference, every interaction of Neeraj Chopra that I've been to,
Yeah.
he keeps getting asked these two questions. One is about 90, one is about pressure. He keeps getting asked that so many times that I'm pretty sure by now, if you wake him up in the middle of the night and ask him the question, he'll have an answer ready for you because he's answered that so much that it's become muscle memory for him to answer these
Yeah.
two questions.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's pressure at this stage because look, obviously Tokyo came out of nowhere, but when he went to the World Championships after the third throw, I think he was fourth.
Yeah.
There was a very realistic chance that he does not end up with a medal. And you saw what happened. He brings out a big throw out of nowhere in this fourth throw, which propels him into the silver medal position, and he comes home with the silver. So pressure is something that he wears very lightly. Is what I feel. Obviously, he may disagree. He may say that he does feel this constant build-up of people wanting him to finish with a gold medal every time he competes. This constant thought of people that they want him to, get to 90. Of course, that is there at the back of the mind.
Yeah.
But I think Neeraj by now is a man who knows how to handle those expectations.
Yeah, I think it'll also come down to you not constantly thinking about the 90-meter mark, but probably just going through the process, just going through your training in the hope that it'll happen soon. Because, I mean, that can then play negatively on your mind that I have to cross that 90-meter mark, I have to cross that. And obviously, media keeps reminding him of that. I think everybody who meets him keeps reminding him of that. But just also the way he came back, like Amit was mentioning, and I think that's a huge deal, Sandeep, when it comes to Neeraj Chopra, because what we had seen before the World Championships was that Neeraj Chopra always came out in the opening throw with a bang, or, right at the beginning, he would get his best throws. But in the World Championships, what we saw was he was competing against Anderson Peters, who had thrown 90 meters in the first throw, and then Neeraj was lagging behind. First was a foul, second was far from his personal best, third the same. Then to come back in the fourth and, be in that zone. Ishan Marwa, his physio, keeps talking about how nobody understands, but when Neeraj is out there, he's in this zone where he's in this complete, what would you say, in this complete Zen-like focus mode. And you saw him come back. So I think that should give him a lot of confidence that he could do it on a platform like the World Championships, where he was lagging and he probably wouldn't have won anything.
I think it's also a lot of maturity in an athlete, to see himself on the standings where, you're suddenly 4, you're 5, you're 6, you're 7, whichever those numbers are, and somebody's already thrown a 90 plus, or in any other event, wherever you're lagging behind, because then you got to play catch up. Play catch up is a very nice normal phrase, but play catch up is taught by psychologists that, always put yourself in a position where you're 4, 5, 6 and then start climbing the stairs. I think that is the perfect sign of an athlete really growing up, to be able to understand the surroundings. And in a World Championships, and I honestly don't want to say the Asian Games or any other ones, it's only the World Championships and the Olympic Games where you completely discount the surroundings around you and you only look at yourself, this is what I need to do. Somebody's thrown 91, fantastic. Somebody's thrown 89 and a half, great. Where am I supposed to be reaching? And I think that maturity you see in Neeraj. Of course, there are other things that do worry him, and I think the 90, not in that sense, probably worries him. And when you look at his U20 performance, and this is what I think we both were speaking just a little while back, since the U20 and since till now, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while for any athlete of any pedigree to be able to. It's like a 100-meter runner not able to crack 10, or an athlete from India who's running in 100 meters women's event not able to crack 11. I think that's probably also a sense that worries the team, that worries him, that it's been 6 years he's been on the run to be able to crack a particular, and I think it'll come. But the question is, when it comes, we don't know when it's going to be there, and that pressure builds up.
Yeah.
Classic example we have is going to be the Asia Cup, Virat Kohli. Just look at the pressure that man's taking.
Both of us are connecting here because I was going to say the same thing. It's the pressure that probably Virat Kohli feels every time there's.
So even without asking Neeraj, I think this is a.
Yeah.
He must be checking out his entire stuff on a daily basis, and he must be wondering, when is this 90 coming?
Yeah, he needs to get that 90 monkey off his back. But the other thing also is, and this is he's obviously in an exclusive club with Abhinav Bindra, being the only individual athlete to have won a gold at an Olympic game. But what I find amazing is what he's done after that, but also dealing with, like Sandeep was saying, a lot of other things that are happening that are out of his control. He wins the gold, he comes back, he frankly has no time to get back to training for a year. Then when he starts the season, Amit, it's too late. He's spoken about it himself. You've spoken to his coach as well, who said that, we were really hurrying through the things and we were trying to get him in top shape before the season began, and this was an important year for him. So I'm saying he's dealing with a lot of those things as well, right? There was one piece where I was reading where Klaus Bartonet's talking about how they did not want the kind of strength that he had before, but more the technique, which he seems to have got, faster arm speed and a lot of other technical things that all you Olympic and specifically Neeraj Chopra, who follow Neeraj Chopra, all the journalists, they talk about it. But that's another thing that he has to deal with, because there are so many other things that are forced upon him. It's not just going out there training for your sport.
Absolutely, but then which is a good thing, to be fair, because Neeraj that way is now one of our properly global athletes, so as to say, the blockbuster athletes, if you will. So yes, there are commercial demands on his time. Yes, there are. In fact, I think one of the brands went as far as Turkey to just shoot some ad with him. So that just tells you how much in demand he is.
Yeah.
But but these are the things that he's dealt with over the last 1 year. Since he's won a medal at Tokyo in August 2021. Since then to September or to August 2022, he's obviously had those demands of his time, where the Prime Minister wants to do events with him.
Yeah.
Chief ministers are felicitating him. All of these things are happening. Every time he does a brand endorsement, obviously ads, these sponsors want him to do certain things on social media, on Instagram. All of that is obviously going to be there. But Neeraj is somebody who's now understood how to balance it. In fact, I think one of the press conferences I attended with him, it was comical because I think the MC asked him to explain what he does on a Sunday. And Neeraj said, Sunday काफी खाली खाली लगता है because समझ नहीं आता क्या करूँ. And then he explained that उस दिन कुछ नहीं, वॉलीबॉल खेल लेते या कोई और स्पोर्ट खेल लेते because coaches training नहीं करने देते, तो we do something like that. So he's somebody who's, despite all the other demands that he has on his time, he still finds a way to, get back to his core competency, which is the sport.
Which then brings me to the next question. Can he win here? Can he win a gold here? Amit?
I don't think he particularly cares about winning the gold today at Lausanne. I think he will particularly care about winning the gold next month from September 7 to 8 when the javelin finals happen at the Diamond League final event. That is what his ultimate target is eventually for this season, apart from the 90-meter. These are the two things he would definitely want to check. as an athlete, he's already checked a lot of boxes that many other athletes only dream about in their career, and he's only 24. So yeah, that I think is going to be the bigger target for him, the Zurich Diamond League finals.
Injury prone. That's another thing, Sandeep. Like, and the sport itself is such as well. That's another thing that he'll need to work on, because, we see this with Indian athletes. We've seen this with even international athletes, but how they have this very strict way of going about caring for their injuries. How much do you think should he be involved in that injury management, figuring out what events to go to, not overwork his body, all of that?
I think it's a clear point that because he cares, because his team cares, and they don't care what the headlines are going to be. If he wins, doesn't win, that's the reason he wasn't in Birmingham. Otherwise, anybody under that pressure would go there. What happens today and what happens in Zurich is important in a way. Winning is always important for somebody to always be there. But I think when you look at top athletes, when you look at track and field, with the limited amount of appearance money that they get, there's not enormous amounts of money flowing into track and field, even though the Olympics is a once a year and all of that. And these are big stars in their own right. But the more he wins today, the more he wins in Zurich, the more he crosses a 90, appearance money starts increasing, and that's where a lot of play comes in. That's a pressure from his own team. That's pressure from different kinds of sponsors. Let's say, for example, he wins Zurich. He's like a big guy then. He's the Olympic champion, he's the world silver medalist, and he's your Diamond League final gold medalist. Now that raises prices, and I don't mean to sound controversial, negative. I don't want to say that, okay, this is being done for money, but money is so important in the development of an athlete to be able to actually do what he wants, to be able to stay away. And believe me, the reason he is also doing well is also in a way that he's just not training in India. He's away from all of this. Otherwise, we'll be talking about him every third, fourth day. Oh, let's do something on Neeraj, let's write about him, let's do this, and let's, all of that comes into play. He stays away, and he's not away from a mind space in that sense, but he does what he's supposed to be doing. And I think that's very, very important.
I think it's because we're a country starved of athletes who won gold medals at World Championships and Olympics, and there's a reason why everybody's after Neeraj Chopra. But you just said, Amit, that this really, he doesn't care for a gold here. It'll be in Zurich that he'd won a gold medal. Does that then mean, I know you've talked about pressure not being there, or he wears it very lightly, but does that mean there is a bigger chance there for him to go for that 90 meters here? Because frankly, I mean, it doesn't matter what his spot is. It seems like he is going to make it to the finals. So is that then something that he'll look to do?
Yeah, I tried talking to Neeraj's coach, Dr. Klaus Bartonietz, and asking him when this 90 meter will, when he will cross that 90 meter barrier. And Dr. Bartonietz, in his inimitable style, said, I don't know when it will come, but it will come when you least expect it. You don't have to focus too much about all of this. I think his word, the word that he used was stupidity. So he said, you don't have to focus on all of these things, and we are not going to focus on all of these things. You guys can, but it will come when you least expect it. So my prediction for today is not expecting him to cross 90, and just hope that he does the 90 today.
Okay. Not expecting him to do 90, but just hope he does 90. I don't know what that means, but okay. I get it. I get it. Let's not expect it right now, and that's when he'll do it. But thank you so much, gentlemen. Amit Kamath and Sandeep Mishra as well. We'll get you all the latest from Diamond League as well. Of course, the 100 meters dash Sandeep and I were talking about, the 3 Jamaican women will be in action as well. That's something to look forward to, man. How are they dominating this space? I mean, all 3 of them. It's a clean sweep. Do you see this?
Looking forward to Sharika.
Yeah.
Really.
Sharika Jackson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Wow. Incredible number of medals amongst them. But that's it then. On this special at 6, we will be getting you all the latest from the Asia Cup. There is some bromance brewing between Shaheen Shah Afridi and Virat Kohli, and a lot more. What can India do to win the Asia Cup. What is the winning formula? We'll talk about that. That's at 6 p.m. today. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to. If you haven't already, press the bell notification so that every time we go live, you get that notification as well. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.